India's economy is expanding, and that growth requires massive energy inputs right now. But that creates a tension. The country is committed to a clean energy transition, yet shutting down fossil fuels today would immediately stall its economic engine. To manage this, the National Energy Framework relies on four core principles: availability, accessibility, affordability, and acceptability. The power has to be there, and people have to be able to pay for it. This is the balancing act facing Oil India Limited, or OIL. They've been building the foundation of the country's energy security for over 6 decades, tracing their roots back to the very first domestic crude discoveries at Digboy. To navigate the decades ahead, a legacy producer like OIL must execute a difficult dual mandate. They need to maximize traditional oil and gas extraction today to generate the capital required to build the green infrastructure of 2040. This chart shows the company's recent output trajectory. In fiscal year 2024-2025, they hit 6.710 mmtoe. That stands for million metric tons of oil equivalent, a standard unit measuring combined oil and gas energy. It is the highest production volume in their history. Looking specifically at the crude oil layer of that data, production grew by nearly 15% over just 3 years, reaching 3.458 million metric tons. Hitting those numbers is difficult because mature oil fields naturally lose pressure over time. Maintaining, let alone increasing, output from older wells requires aggressive engineering. The primary tool to fight that decline is a workover. A workover is an invasive physical intervention using heavy rigs to repair or stimulate an existing well. Last year, Oil executed 294 of them, the highest number they've ever completed in a single year. These workovers are paired with advanced techniques like hydrofracturing, which cracks open subsurface rock formations to release trapped fluids, and enhanced oil recovery, or EOR, which alters the physical properties of the oil itself so it flows more easily. These intensive engineering interventions reverse the natural decline of legacy assets, forcing older fields to yield more energy today than they did a decade ago. But squeezing existing wells is only half the equation. Sustaining national energy security also requires finding new reserves deep underground. Under a government exploration initiative called Mission Anvesan, the company launched a massive airborne gravity gradiometry survey. They flew over 5,700 line kilometers, measuring minute variations in the Earth's gravitational field to map the density of hidden rock layers. This high-resolution mapping translates directly into physical inventory. Last year, it helped identify an additional 5.87 million metric tons of oil equivalent in new reserves, primarily within the Assam-Arakan Basin. Building up domestic reserves with this level of precision provides a crucial buffer. It ensures decades of stable supply and insulates the broader economy from the price shocks of the global energy market. That aggressive production and exploration strategy generated serious capital. The company reported a consolidated income of over 37,800 crore rupees for the fiscal year. This is where the second half of the dual mandate begins. The profit from pulling hydrocarbons out of the ground is being channeled into a formal strategy called Vision 2040. This diagram shows exactly where that capital is going. The strategy targets heavily scaled investments in solar and wind renewables, green hydrogen pilot plants, biofuel infrastructure, and new ventures to locate the critical minerals required for battery storage. The revenue from traditional fossil fuels is acting as the financial engine, making the pivot to clean energy possible at scale. Zooming out, the structure of the company itself is changing. Oil India Limited is moving past its original definition as a conventional exploration and production firm. They are reassembling into a fully diversified, integrated energy enterprise, capable of handling everything from upstream extraction to downstream refining and renewable generation. You can see that shift in their capital expenditures. The company deployed over 18,100 crore rupees into structural investments this past year alone. This is a massive capital deployment into physical infrastructure. They are currently tripling the capacity of their Numaligarh refinery, pushing it from 3 to 9 million metric tons per annum to secure regional fuel supplies. This visualization shows the immediate economic footprint of those operations. Beyond infrastructure, they returned more than 11,200 crore rupees in duties, taxes, and dividends directly to central and state governments to fund public development. The reality of the energy transition is that it is highly capital-intensive. You cannot build the sustainable power grid of the future without securing the energy and financial demands of the present. By pushing their legacy assets to record highs to fund tomorrow's clean technologies, Oil India Limited is providing a working blueprint for how legacy producers can physically power the transition to 2040.